And Saints hoping to stop the rot. Last 2 league defeats against Bradford and Lee. The Saints side for this afternoon, David Lyon making his debut. Signed in September, but troubled with a hamstring injury. But his debut this afternoon, Alan Hunt on the right wing, Gary Connolly, Jared McCracken and Tony Sullivan, the other 3 quarters. Rapati and Griffiths, the half-back pairing, with Harrison, Dwyer and Neil. Joint, Mann and Cooper, the back 3. O'Donnell and Sean Casey are the substitutes. The Salford side, at full-back, Burkitt. Their 3 quarters are Evans, Critchley, Gill, Fillan and Ford. Reid and Coleman are the half-back pairing, with Young, Lee and Stasic are the front 3. Bradshaw, Blease and Burgess are the back 3, with Gibson and Ackerman on the substitutes bench. Referee for today is Jerry Kershaw from Easingwold, New York. Should have been Steve Cross from Hull, but I believe he's damaged a fetlock, and therefore we've got Mr. Kershaw. So Ian Blease, captain for Salford, been out for about 6 months, I believe, with an injury. Shane Cooper, captain for the Saints. Centre fielder with Jerry Kershaw. We had Mr. Kershaw in the first round of the Regal, the preliminary round, I beg your pardon, of the Regal Trophy at Nosey Road. And to say he had a good game would probably be an understatement. But let's see how he shapes this afternoon.
And the note for the unit that goes to the next meeting will be 24th November. And in future meeting will start at 7 p.m.
Cooper and Blease there on the centre spot. Shane Cooper will take his side down to the clubhouse end, and the Saints will play up to the cantilever stand for the first half, obviously with Salford playing down to the clubhouse. Quite cool here after the midweek rough weather we had, hailstorms and fierce wind at Lee midweek. It's a quite still, cool, damp day here at Salford. And Saints looking to get back into winning ways. See Rapati to get things going. And Rapati gets us underway. Well taken by Coleman. Tex Evans comes infield. Mark Lee at acting halfback. Onto Coleman, moving it quickly, crossfield. Andy Burgess, he's quickly in. But Mark Lee, as ever, at acting halfback, onto David Young. Got a high tackle there, referee Kershaw well in. And he's adjudged the high tackle on David Young. First penalty of the game, going to Salford. So Shane Cooper just having a word with the referee Kershaw. And Martin Burkitt finds touch just short of the centre line. Salford in possession. Mark Lee gives the dummy, drives forward. Now Salford moving it across. Jed Stasiker, John Harrison, he's quickly in. Bernard Dwyer as well. Saints hoping to put their act together, especially after the midweek defeat at Lee on a mud bath of a pitch. But it was the same for both sides, as we said on the night, with Salford spreading it. Jason Critchley, ex-Blackbrook lad, St Helens lad, but on the tackle, being penalised. Rapati and McCracken, well, they look at each other, and referee Kershaw comes in. As I said, we had him against Huddersfield in the preliminary round of the Regal. He didn't let the game flow that day, and it certainly doesn't look as though it's going to go that way this afternoon, does it? So Burkitt will have a go for goal. Just waiting for the customary bucket of sand to come on. A minute, nearly 2 minutes of the game gone. And Martin Burkitt, usually in the centre position. Steve Gibson, the regular fullback here, is on the substitutes bench. Burkitt, either centre or fullback. sees it up. It's about 40 metres out, all on 40 metres, and as you can see, just about 11 or 12 metres in from the main stand side here at the Willows. The referee Kershaw awarding the penalty for an alleged high tackle. The Burkett lofts it, but it goes to the right of the sticks. It does go dead, so Salford will receive the ball back as Saints drop it out from the centre of the 20-metre line. David Lyon. Hefty boot from Lyon. Phil Ford, flamboyant wingman Ford. Certainly can't afford to give this fella any chances. Good mover. And Salford driving it up. Arthur Bradshaw. That's a weak lad, Arthur Bradshaw. A few telling us in the Salford ranks. With Jason Critchley. Arthur Bradshaw. Also Mark Lee. But it's to Coleman again. Turns it back. Bradshaw. On to Ian Blease. Bradshaw loops around for the return ball. He doesn't get it. Salford bringing it away. Mark Lee, tactical kicking. Forces Sullivan to turn, but I think it's just gone into touch. Has it? Touching goal is the indication. I thought it had just gone behind the corner flag, but I wasn't quite sure. But it's scrum down with a Saints feed. Jonathan Griffiths. Saints have scrum possession, first scrum of the match. Saints moving it away, but referee Kershaw in again for an alleged high tackle, this time by Salford. Saints find touch, and from the restart, moving it over to the right. John Harrison bursting through. Jonathan Griffiths, he's with him, can't take the ball. Now it's Dwyer, Cooper, along to George Mann. Didn't play on Wednesday, picked a knock-up against Leeds. For a good ball from Rapati, on to Joint, excellent floated ball. Saints move it quickly, Cooper again. Jared McCracken on the opposite diagonal. Last tackle of this sequence now. Referee Kershaw lining Salford up. Now with Rapati, chips it. Tex Evans takes it well. Cooper comes in, tries to close him down. In fact he does, but it's Bernard Dwyer that completes the tackle. Well, Bernard Dwyer trying to get to his feet, and the referee Kershaw moved in quickly, penalised Bernard Dwyer. Tex Evans had gone into him, took Bernard with him. They tried to scramble to his feet. Shouldn't have been a penalty at all, that on Bernard Dwyer, but Salford do have the penalty. 3-1 the penalty count, and we've only had 5.5 minutes. It's Tex Evans, ex-Swinton flyer. Now it's David Young, George Mann round the top. It's John Neal round the legs, and Mark Lee again bringing it away. On to Reid. Well, crossing there is going to be the indication, I feel. Just a little mix-up between Jason Critchley and Martin Burkett. And the Saints are awarded the penalty for crossing. And David Lyon should take the tactical kicks and also the place kicks, I would imagine. Quite a while since we've had what's classed as a recognised place kicker. Paul Loughlin out injured for some while. And David Lyon on the boots, but unable to play for injury. Well, that's holding down, isn't it? That's just penalised Bernard Dwyer for it, and that was definitely held down longer than Bernard Dwyer. At least Bernard was trying to get off the man. But it's Saints just outside the 20-metre area. Rapati moving it crossfield. George Mann breaks through the tackle. Flicked it up to David Lyon. He couldn't take it. The ball's come back. Did it hit a Salford player? But it's Chris Joint that has the ball. Salford forced the line out. The Saints public get behind them. Quick hand there. Rapati again. It went to McCracken. Back to Rapati. The Saints keeping it going. Salford forced to defend. We're just outside the Salford 20-metre line. John Neal going crossfield. Solid tackling, I was going to say. There certainly didn't look anything in it from our angle, but referee Kershaw judging that the tackle was high, and a chance now for David Lyon to open the scoring for the Saints. Burkitt just missed earlier on with a penalty attempt, but as John Neal moved over to the right, there certainly doesn't look anything in it at all. Obviously we're up on the high level VIP members gantry, just 10 yards to the left of centre, as you no doubt gather with your pictures, but there certainly didn't look anything up. But referee Kershaw not letting the game flow, and it's gone the Saints' way this time, and definite kickable position for David Lyon. 8 minutes of the game gone, 3 penalties to each side. Saints taking the only clean scrum of the game, just outside their own 20-metre line, 20-metre area. Got a chance now for David Lyon to get his first points for the Saints. It's his debut match. Chips it well, and it goes between the uprights. So David Lyon, a big lad, to get that under his belt, there's no danger. A penalty goal in the 8th minute makes the score Salford 0, Saints 2. Saints putting the pressure on, bringing it up. The handling quite well. Anything would be an improvement after last Wednesday night, wouldn't it, at Lee, where we was losing the ball on the first and second tackling, and unfortunately we didn't put a move together all night. But Salford there at the top of the table, they're in 4th position. Saints in 3rd. Salford have lost 3, Saints have lost 2. And as far as the Saints are concerned, we can't afford to lose many more. The ball back to Rapati, puts the high bomb up. Saints urged to get back. Burkitt running into Evans, but the referee Kershaw penalised the Saints for not giving Burkitt 10 metres or 10 yards or whatever we're in now. And a penalty to Salford. Their 4th in the game, all on 10 minutes old. So Salford in possession, just outside the Saints 20-metre line. Jed Stazika, ex-Wigan man, driving in. Now David Young, looks plenty of space there, centre field. As Young drove through, but the Saints cover defence came over quickly. Now it's Coleman and Reid. Well, Reid breaks the first line of defence. Salford pressing on the Saints line, the first time in this game. Coleman again, long ball, a long ball for the Saints. Critchley out on the left wing. He is the right centre, but he's out on the left wing. It's now with Phil Ford, trying to step through the Saints. Last tackle of this sequence. Let's see what Salford have up their sleeve. Well, Saints have possession, bring it away quickly. George Mann, I think it was, that gathered that ball quickly, as Harrison brings it up to the 20. Well, look at the second tackling going in there. Mark Lee on John Harrison, the man was down. We saw Sonny Nicholl sent off for that, for 10 minutes in the sin bin against Leeds, didn't we? But Saints lose possession. Salford on the attack again. Gives it to Coleman, onto Burkitt. Arthur Bradshaw, long ball to Ford. Ford going on the outside. But Saints back to square one. Sullivan doing the tackling. Now Salford bringing it over. Mark Lee knocks it back. Just whizzes past, temporarily past John Griffiths, but McCracken tidies him up, and Griffiths comes in for a second bite of the cherry. But Salford moved it quickly from Phil Ford right across to check Seven's wing, but it's Gil Fillan in the centre. Just couldn't think of his name then. Gil Fillan takes the ball up. Big hole in the Saints defence. Salford move it left. David Young, the ball's knocked down. The Saints have possession. Well, it's anybody's guess, isn't it? Yes, Saints have possession. George Mann saw the gap, drove for it. Certainly looks as though a Saints player may have got a hand to that as it went there, but Saints came up with possession. Everything allowed to go on. Just John Neal it is, just outside the 25. He slips it up to Chris Joynt. just losing his footing. Mark Lee makes sure he doesn't go any further. Bernard Dwyer, Cooper along the line. Tirapati looking for a little bit of individual brilliance from the Saints this afternoon. It's the last tackle of this sequence. John Neal, back to David Lyon, back to Cooper. Salford closed the Saints down, but Cooper did get the kick away. Phil Ford takes it. We know what Ford can do, but Connolly brings him to grass. 10 metres inside the Saints half. Saints moving quickly. That was on the 6th tackle. Saints nearly caught. Cooper actually got it away in the end. Andy Burgess fending off the tacklers. Dwyer-Cooper combination brings him down, and Salford moving it left. Arthur Bradshaw with a chip kick through. Will it go dead? It does. The touch judge there, judging the ball to have gone touch in goal. But Arthur Bradshaw, he saw the Saints were pressing up, he chipped it through. And unfortunately, as far as Salford are concerned, the ball running touch in goal. Saints have restarted with a tap from the centre of the 20-metre line. They gained 15 metres of forward yardage. And Dwyer ringing it up. Well, it certainly looks a little high off Blease with Young down below. John Harrison up to the halfway line, so good yardage for the Saints. Bringing it up from the 20-metre line up to the halfway. And John Neal, tough Cumbrian forward, in with the shoulder, drives it forward. Last tackle of this sequence now. Cooper brings it away. Chipped for Alan Hunt. Can the Saints get a favourable bounce? Yes, Hunt. Can he get the ball? Salford do have possession, but a knock-on given, is it? Well, offside he's actually given, but there was no way that Alan Hunt was offside there. An astute kick by Shane Cooper, but referee Kershaw ruling that Alan Hunt was offside. Salford, surely Salford had played the ball, and therefore if Alan Hunt was in an offside position, he must have been ruled onside, but it wasn't the case. And referee Kershaw again giving his ruling. Salford have possession. 15 minutes of the game gone. Saints in a slender 2-0 lead. An 8th minute David Lyon penalty goal. Coleman inside to Andy Burgess. John Neal brings him down. Bernard Dwyer also in the defensive role. And Salford moving it left. Reid back to Bradshaw. Andy Burgess. But Salford taking it up the centre. They're always looking to spread it, but for some reason Burgess didn't release it there. Now with Coleman, the South Sydney scrum half, or ex-South Sydney scrum half, looking to get his side going. Last tackle of the sequence. Mark Lee on to Tex Evans. Sullivan brings him down. The ball's fed inside to Lee. Lee chips it. Well, it must be offside, Wayne Reid. Yes, definitely. Clear case of offside there, and referee Kershaw has actually spotted it, and he was must have been a yard or 2 yards inside, in front of Mark Lee. It was Wayne Reid when he kicked it, but referee Kershaw right on the job. Saints awarded the penalty, and it should be David Lyon. A fine touch, and he does successfully just on the 20-metre line. Bernard Dwyer restarts. The ball now with John Harrison. Gus O'Donnell for the Saints, limbering up also Sean Casey. Been in the first team squad for a while as Sean Casey, but limited appearances from him. Referee Kershaw picks up a forward pass, courtesy of a partisan decision on the opposite side. Sure they influenced the referee this time. Well, it's a scrum down on the Saints 20-metre line. And the Salford feed. Burgess picks it up. Ball spread quickly over to the Phil Ford wing. Gary Connolly manages to stick hold of him. You don't give this fella, well, I'm going to say a yard, you don't give him a foot forward. Stazika now, centre field. 15 yards from the Saints line. Salford in possession. They move it left again. A lot of the work there being brought over to the left, playing on this Gilfin and Ford wing. There again, it's David Young. Powerful Welsh prop. Saints forced to defend, just leading by 2 points to 0. The ball being spread. Coleman, the runner is Blease. He took it well, and Saints tackled well, didn't they? Last tackle of this set. Mark Lee, inside ball to Reid, but he's going to be taken in possession, and that's going to be the turnover. Salford, good play from them. They moved it over to the left, then switched it back into the centre, but Wayne Reid was unable to take or get shut of it. The change overruled, and now Saints have possession. John Neal runs strong. Kevin Ward still out with a neck injury. We've also got Sonny Nicholl out with back problems, and also out that are usually in the Saints first team squad. We have Les Quirk, Paul Farber, Phil Vevers, Paul Laughlin, but it's Griffiths coming away. Good ball to Rapati. Dwyer's with him. He gives it to Dwyer now. Lofted ball to Alan Hunt. Let's see what Hunt can do. He should outpace the defence. Burkitt going across, but Alan Hunt will go in at the corner. Well, touch is given, and it must have been an excellent tackle by Burkitt. Just took Alan Hunt right in the corner. But excellent ball there. Excellent ball to Alan Hunt, and Burkitt, he covered some yardage there, didn't he? And forced Alan Hunt into touch right at the corner. And Jerry Kershaw brings the scrum back to the 10-metre mark. 10 metres in from the touch and 10 metres from the Salford line. So Saints missing out on a golden chance there, but they've got to hold Salford up in their own 20-metre area for the remainder of these 6 tackles. An ideal chance for the Saints there to register the first try this afternoon. But good tackling on Salford this time. Now with David Young, is it? No, it's Andy Burgess. On to Tex Evans. Just gets past Tony Sullivan. Out to John Harrison. On to Arthur Bradshaw. Solid tackling again. Centre field, Chris Joint. But Salford have weathered the storm. They come away from virtually on their own line. Ian Blease slipped it away. Well, it must have been forward, mustn't it? On to Gil Fillan. The man looked well tackled. He slipped it away, but the ball adjudged to have gone forward. But Salford making good yardage there from virtually their own try line and bringing the ball up to the halfway. But it's a scrum down Saints feed. Cooper has it. He breaks quickly. Griffith is there with him, but Wayne Reid was marshalling him. Saints play it quickly. Salford moving up. Now with David Lyon. They've got a bit of action, brings it over, takes the dummy, or gives the dummy and takes the tackle, I should say. Lyon wants to play it quickly. Tony Sullivan at dummy half, now with Bernard Dwyer, sees the gap, does Dwyer. Excellent tackling from Salford. Sullivan now with George Mann at short range. Let's see what George Mann can do, centre field. He's brought down, centre field, 10 metres from the Salford line. John Neal from acting half. Bounces off the first line of defence. Last tackle now. Saints are going to bring it over to the left. Salford forced to line out on their own line. Now with Rapati. Griffiths chips it through off the Salford man. David Young gathers it, yes, off his legs. Picks it up safely. And Salford weather the storm. Jason Critchley comes away. The ball pulled out in the tackle. Connolly adjudged to have reaped the ball out of Jason Critchley's hand, and referee Kershaw ruling that way. As they also, we've got Phil Beavers out, Paul Laughlin, Mike Riley, and Paul Groves, who was signed from the Salford club, only lives round the corner here from the Willows ground. But regular first teamers out. Now it's Stasica. Joint and Neal, but Salford running hard. David Young now. The semblance of quite a decent side. They give a few teams frights so far this season. As I said, they have lost 3. They've played 8, just winning 5. Now it's with Craig Coleman. Turns the ball inside to Stasica. He did well to hold it. Coleman moving to the left, then turned the ball inside. Obviously a tactical ploy from the Salford coach, Kevin Tamati. So we've two new, well, it must be a forward pass, that surely. Taken by Gilfillan, on to Phil forward, but yes, the forward pass rule. It can't be anything else, can it? The forward pass, it must have been a yard forward. So it's a scrum down with a Saints feed. I said plenty partisan, well, I think we're the only Saints speckies up here, because it is a high-level VIP Salford members gantry. Members stand. So no doubt we'll get quite a bit of ear bashing once Salford put a move together. Sarah Patty gets it away to Griffiths. Jared McCracken gathers it, but Saints losing yardage, but McCracken puts the gas pedal down, brings it up to the halfway line by the centre spot. It looked worse than it was there as Stasica went in for the tackle, but it's Chris Joint. Good ball to Griffiths, inside to Rapati. Must be a try for the Saints. Rapati, oh, superb! Rapati leading Burkett, a merry dance. And in the 23rd minute, Rapati opens the scoring for the Saints. Superb try. Jared McCracken took the ball up centre field. Then the ball was spread out to the left. Chris Joint took the running up. And then it was fed on to Tia Rapati. He had support. Bernard Dwyer was with him as ever. But Rapati led Burkett a merry dance. He turned him inside out. And Rapati touched down about 12 yards in from the touchline here on the main stand side at the Willows. So Rapati extending the Saints lead to 6 points to 0. But as you could probably hear, we're just getting a little bit of ear bashing. And it makes a change from somebody else giving the referee a bit of ear bashing apart from my good self. But anyway, it's David Lyon, 12 metres in, and on the 20 metre line. Kick one this afternoon, a penalty goal in the 8th minute. Looking to convert the Tia Rapati try. Tia Rapati's 10th try of the season. He's also kicked 16 goals, and that all-important drop goal against Leeds last Sunday. What a difference 7 days makes, eh? Beating Leeds. Well, Lyon there. Excellent kick from Lyon. We know what David Lyon can do in the goal-kicking department. He's excellent in the loose as well. The ex-Widnes and Warrington full-back. Three-quarter. Play anywhere in the three quarters, but he converted that no problem. Makes the Saints now 8 points to 0 in the lead with 25 minutes of this important top of the table clash in the Stones Bitter League Championship. Well kicked there, right in the corner, and well taken by Alan Hunt. Salford move up quickly, complete the tackle. Bernard Dwyer acting half-back. But as Salford moved in quickly, Bernard Dwyer couldn't get the ball away. We've also seen the opposition, as it's Salford this afternoon, penalised for moving up too quickly at the play of the ball. But Bernard Dwyer knocked it forward. Salford have possession. They take the scrums now, 3-1. Martin Burkett in the line. Salford looking to redress the balance and get points on the board. Only a Martin Burkett attempt. Going wide, but Salford, well, the ball adjudged to have been knocked forward there, but it certainly looked to me as though it had come back. But referee Kershaw's the man in the centre, and he's not winning many friends with the Salford spectators up here in the top tier of the stand. Saints have possession. 10 metres from their own line, right in front of the sticks. George Mann knocks it back. Jared McCracken picking up, certainly looked a little high as he went in, considering some of the tackles that the referee has penalised today, but allegedly round the neck. But it's Dwyer as ever, at acting half-back. Plays it quickly, brings it over to the left. Rapati out to Griffiths. Good ball to McCracken, but solid tackling there. Tex Evans moved in quickly, along with Ian Blease, but Griffiths from acting half-back drives it up. Good burst from Griffiths, 10-15 yards, quick off the mark. And this is what the Saints need, a quick play from the A quick move forward, a quick play from the ball, but Burkitt has it now. The Saints defence lines up. Connolly completes the tackle. Salford have possession, 30 metres away from their own line. Now with Gilfillan, moves it centre field. Mark Lee, as ever, attacked in half. Now with Coleman, looking to get things going. This Coleman and Reid partnership, a very lively pairing. Now with Reid on to Stasica, I think it is, back to Reid. He moves it over to the left, looking to create the gap. He does, he draws the man and gets it away. Now with Burkitt out to Phil Ford. Alan Hunt goes over, but Phil Ford gets the ball back again. The Saints cover defence comes in. Salford moving downfield, 40 metres there. Saints are penalised for not getting off the man quickly enough. Burkitt is there with Salford attempt to go for goal. Oh, it must be a planned move, is it? Well, indecision in the Salford ranks. Finally, Burkitt decides that he is going to go for goal after consultation with captain Ian Blease. We're talking about 11 metres away from the Saints posts and just over 10 metres in from the touchline. 28 minutes of the game gone, and Saints in the lead by 8 points to 0. Saints came up for trumps last Sunday, 15-14 against Leeds. Unfortunately, Salford went down by 18 points to 14 here at the Willows against Featherstone, and Saints had drawn Featherstone in the next round of the Regal Trophy at Post Office Road. It's Burkitt again, unsuccessful again, waved away. Salford looking to make a substitution, with Burkitt being replaced by Steve Gibson, as I said, the regular fullback. Whether he has been injured, Gibson, I don't know, but Gibson coming on with the usual headgear. Australian Gibson steps up, a straight positional swap. So obviously Kevin Tamati feeling that Burkitt has not been up to what he should be against the Saints, but this fella Gibson, prolific tackle breaker, right in the action, first touch of the ball, nearly broke through there, but it's now with Stasica. Rapati there, I think it is, with Griffiths and Joint, bring him down. Now with David Young, Harrison and Mann, they complete the tackle. 10 minutes before the interval, 8-0 the score in the Saints' favour. Salford moving it left. Reid looking for the return pass from Ian Blease. Well, he looks well clamped on the far side. Connolly and Cooper. He's finally brought to grass. And Salford move it centre field. Now with Gibson. Well, Gibson loses it. George Mann gratefully accepts it. Well, Saints there, instead of holding on to it, George Mann tried to get things going to Bernard Dwyer. He wasn't expecting it, and he knocked it forward. So from Salford losing the ball, Saints semi-capitalising on it. It's going to be a scrum down with a Salford feed. Salford taking the scrums 4-1. Well, obstruction there. Certainly Salford making a complete hash of it as Jason Critchley came across and run right in front of John Gilfillan, and the Saints are awarded the penalty. Excellent competitor, this Jason Critchley, since coming from Widnes. But it's a chance for David Lyon to extend the Saints' lead by another 2 points. 35 metres out, and about 15-20 metres in from the main stand side here. Well, the statement that was just given behind me, I certainly would possibly doubt that. But David Lyon banged 2 over this afternoon. 8-0 the score at present. 8 minutes before the interval. Saints building up the points nicely. Well, Salford feeling much aggrieved. Talking to one of the Salford directors earlier on, he wasn't too happy, obviously, about getting beat last week against Featherstone. But he said he'd sooner get beat against Featherstone in the Regal than obviously lose to Lee midweek. But it'll be their turn. They'll have to play Lee. David Lyon lofts it, but it looks as though it's gone to the right. It has. It's waved away, and Phil Ford comes away with it. And we know this fella well. He breaks well. Phil Ford with plenty of pace. Oh, 50 yards. But well covered by David Lyon. But what a superb take by Phil Ford. 50-odd yards he gained. Coleman, lofted ball, out on the far side. Andy Burgess, but good yardage by Salford. But Jerry Kershaw moves in and penalises the Saints for offside. Salford play it quickly. Well, a loose ball. It's going to be a knock-on, isn't it? Gilfillan couldn't take it. I think it was Coleman that tried to get things going. 2 occasions in the last few minutes there where the Saints were guilty of trying to spread the ball quickly instead of settling it down. When George Mann tried to get it away, and there it's Coleman and Gilfillan that couldn't combine. Or tried too hard to get it away when they should have just let it settle down after making 55 yards from in their own. Well, another mistake as Griffiths brought it over to the left, then turned it inside. It was Tia Apati that couldn't take it. So that puts the pressure back on the Saints, and Salford, they'll have the feed from this scrum. They have the ball, bring it out to Wayne Reid. He's quickly clamped. Saints trying to force him back with Shane Cooper and Tia Apati. But Salford again, Andy Burgess straightens it up. Always looking to release it. The Saints will have to ensure that the tackling is firm and clamped. Now with Coleman, good ball to Evans, but a good clamp tackle there by McCracken. Well, he's saying that tackle's high. There was nothing in that at all. Referee Kershaw, the man right there. But I can assure you, I'm with the load of partisan Salford spectators up here, and we didn't even get a peep out of them then. And there was nothing in that at all. But referee Kershaw has given the penalty. 9 penalties to 5, I make it in Salford's favour, with Salford taking the scrums 5-2. Salford electing not to go for goal. They're going to try and put pressure on the Saints. They must feel that in these 6 tackles, hopefully they have 6 tackles, in the Saints 20-metre area, that they can come up with a point. But Stasica driving it forward, Lee attacked in half-back. Well, the ball has been lost. Saints have possession. Salford coming through quickly. It was Blease, the captain. He couldn't hold on to it. The ball was knocked forward. Saints mustn't have been able to capitalise on it. And now it's another scrum. And John Griffiths wins it. A big gap emerges. Griffiths goes up the centre. Gibson temporarily closed him down. Cooper taking it across field, now with Connolly, out to Alan Hunt. Hunt drives forward, 5 yards short of the halfway line. Dwyer attacked in half, in the last 5 minutes of this half now. The Saints with an 8-0 lead. Well, Rapati just dropping the ball again, knocking on, just taking his eye off the ball. Twice in quick succession, Tia Apati unable to take this ball. Salford now bringing it left. Gibson. Salford moved it to the left, but they'd only Phil Ford on the wing. But Gibson was quickly brought down. Now it's Arthur Bradshaw. Not the biggest of second row forwards, but he certainly can motor forward. There's no danger about that. Coleman, Reid along the line. Ian Blease. Cooper brings him down, but there's no support for Salford. Now it's Coleman, brings it away, onto Critchley, inside to Tex Evans. McCracken holds him this time. And now it's Coleman attacked in half, onto Reid, Salford spreading it. They certainly threw it about, but it hasn't paid dividends for them up to now. Gilfillan out to Stasica, over to the far side to Phil Ford, back inside to Gibson. Throwing it about Salford, there's no danger, it's now with Bradshaw. Gives the pirouette, support there from Blease. Lofty ball from Evans. Can he take it? He can. What the cover defence is doing, but he gets it away to Critchley. Oh, superb tackling by the Saints. It looked as though Critchley, all he had to do was take the ball, which he did, after Evans got it away and fall over the line. But the Saints cover defence was tremendous. They came in, forced him into touch. And it's now a scrum down with the Saints feed 10 metres out. The Saints now, they've got to try and get it going again. Cooper from the acting half onto George Mann. Salford will be hoping to contain the Saints in their own 20-metre area. 2 tackles of the set of 6. And now it's Harrison driving it up. Salford forced to get back the requisite 10 metres. But now it's John Neal. Dwyer at acting half. Saints play it quickly, it's Cooper, brings it up centre field. Dwyer was with him, but I think it was Arthur Bradshaw that was covering up there. Now with David Lyon. Punts it up to Steve Gibson. Takes it well. Griffiths is there to meet him, and Griffiths completes the tackle. Well, Griffiths penalised there for allegedly pushing Gibson down when Salford were very sparse at the back. I think there was only one player at the back of Gibson, but it's Phil Ford. He finds touch just inside the Saints half. Just 2 minutes of the half remaining. 38 minutes gone. Saints in the lead by 8 points to 0. Getting very dark out there. It was very dark at Lee midweek. Obviously that was the evening fixture, but the pictures, obviously the video pictures enhance the conditions. It looked bright on the video, but it was, I can assure you, it was really dark. It was getting rather dark here. Salford have possession. The centre field, it's Mark Lee, ex-St Helens A-team captain and reserve hooker. Now with Ian Blease, he's driving it hard. Leads by example, excellent campaigner is Blease. Salford still looking for the first points. Saints hoping to keep them out before the half-time hooter. It's Craig Coleman, quickly wrapped up. Quick play the ball, Stasiker at dummy half. Lofty ball on the far side. Salford moving it over, and they've done a lot of their planned moves, bringing it over to the left. But that's the 6th tackle of the sequence. I didn't see the referee's hand upraised, but it was Salford taking in possession on the far side. Saints now hoping to stick hold of the ball for the remainder of these 6 tackles, with Jonathan Neal leading the charge. Well, referee Kershaw in again, alleging a high tackle. Jonathan Neal running in hard, and from our position up here it didn't look anything in it, but referee Kershaw, he moved in, adjudged the tackle to be high, and awards the Saints the penalty. 10-6 on the penalty count in Salford's favour, and we're playing in stoppage time. Harrison leading the charge, gaining valuable yardage, and Saints will be looking to spread it before the half-time interval. Cooper misses out joint onto Griffiths, to Rapati, now with McCracken. There's the half-time hooter. Saints go in with an 8 points to 0 lead, courtesy of a David Lyon penalty in the 8th minute, and then that Tia Rapati try in the 23rd minute, converted by Lyon. So half-time here at the Willow, Salford, in the Stones Bitter League Championship match. It's Salford 0, St Helens 8. We're back with you now for the second half, the Stones Bitter League clash. Saints in an 8 points to 0 lead at the interval. Obviously looking to extend it. They've weathered the storm from Salford. Put quite a good few moves together, Salford, but unable to penetrate the Saints line. Tried an early kick at goal, but that went away, and then tried to put pressure on the Saints in their own 20-metre area with tap penalties from penalties received and some rather erratic Jerry Kershaw refereeing. But Saints have weathered the storm. Jared McCracken gathers it, drives it upfield. A little bit of mauling at the play of the ball. George Mann now, plus Saints coach Mike McLennan saying make sure your handling is firm. Saints losing the ball on a few occasions uncharacteristically. Well, it is today, not after, unfortunately, last Wednesday. But David Lyon gets the ball, kicks it downfield. Gibson plays it on. Griffiths first man in there. George Mann around the top. Have to release the man quickly. Let him play it. Now with Coleman. Jason Critchley, I think that is, coming crossfield. Now Mark Lee attacked in half-back. Salford in possession. 8 points to 0 down. Now with Craig Coleman, crossfield kick. Looking for touch, but it curls in. David Lyon shouldn't have any problem with it. Lyon making a waste. Good run from this fella. Took it well on his own 20-metre line and drove up 10 metres inside the Salford half. We know what blistering pace he does have. Well, Tirapati just touching it, the ball going back. Looks though he just slightly overrun it there, Tia, but no damage done. And now it's John Neal bringing it blindside. Looks like Andy Burgess, is it? Taking a knock there in that tackle. Here's Andy Burgess. John Harrison now. Back to Shane Cooper. Well, they missed out to John Griffiths and took it to Chris Joynt, but he was quickly wrapped up. Now Connolly moving over from the right to the left. Creating a little bit of space is Gary Connolly. Still held up. Now brought down on the last tackle of this sequence. The ball there with Tirapati. Lost it high. And Tia following the kick up. Put pressure on Gibson, but excellent take by Gibson. Food and drink to this fella. Even though he did knock on earlier on, he's usually the safest pair of hands in the league. But Phil Ford coming across again. Alan Hunt wraps him up. A superb 55-yard break by Ford just to the end of the first half. But Salford spreading it again. Wayne Reid, centre field. Runs into Chris Joynt. Now Salford again. Gil Finnan on the far side. Jared McCracken, I think it was McCracken that's been penalised for allegedly pulling back in the tackle. And Salford with the first penalty of the second half. Just over 3 minutes gone. Mark Lee will restart midway between the 20-metre mark and halfway, and Saints penalised again for moving too quickly off the mark. Will Salford have a go for goal this time? Well, Coleman wants them to go for goal. It makes you wonder who's the captain here, doesn't it? But David Young has the ball. Austin Donegan, who is now at the Salford club, who came here via St Helens and Oldham. He's just coming on as the Sandman. And David Young going to have a pot shot at goal. Burkitt has been replaced in the 29th minute by Gibson. So David Young, this big Welsh prop forward, ex-Leeds player. Well, yes, the Salford crowd tell you that that's over. And Salford with the first points on the board. David Young with the penalty goal in the 4th minute. Saints kick it off quickly. Makes the score now. St Helens 8, Salford 2. And Tex Evans brought down on the 20-metre line. More or less centre field, now with Coleman. Griffiths wraps him up. Joynt there in with the action. But that was David Young. Drives it strong and hard, but he doesn't get past Harrison and Neil, the combined props of the Saints. Coleman trying to work a move with Blease. He looks to get it away, but the ball's released. And the referee is going to allow play on, is he? Salford kick it dead. But the knock-on indicated is the first. Well, I was going to say he's given the first knock-on, but he hasn't. He's adjudged that Saints had possession, and Saints have knocked it forward. And now it's a scrum down with the Salford feed. Salford forced to pack without one member who's receiving treatment in the centre. But referee Kershaw penalised the Saints for not packing correctly. Phil Ford. Finds touch just short of the halfway. David Young that's received treatment there. Now with John Gilfillan. Looking to turn the ball back to Mark Lee. But Dwyer and Neil. Ian Blease now, he's leading the charge, the Salford captain. Mark Lee onto Coleman. Just holding on, Wayne Reid to that ball. John Harrison wraps him up. Bernard Dwyer had completed the tackle. Salford bringing it blindside. Bradshaw and Coleman working a loop movement with Gilfillan. Young John Gilfillan. But it's now with Coleman. Brings it blindside again. Back to Mark Lee. Saints tackling it to hold firm. Wayne Reid turns it inside to Blease. Back to Bradshaw. And on to Mark Lee. Salford throwing it about. Bradshaw, well, basketball style. Now with David Young. Temporarily lost possession. Well, the ball's gone now. Saints will have it. No, Saints don't come up with it, but it's going to be a knock-on. So just one pass too many, perhaps, from Salford there. An excellent passage of play, but it's David Young that knocks it forward. John Griffiths. Saints win the clean heel. Griffiths breaking through. The party was with him. Now it's George Mann. Not had the best of luck with injury this season. Blindside ploy, Cooper, on to John Neal. Back to Alan Hunt, took it well. Alan Hunt there being adjudged to have obstructed the Salford players in their effort to get the ball. Hunt tried to lay it back. And he did slightly cover up to enable Gary Connolly to get it. Unfortunately, as far as we're concerned, referee Kershaw spotted it. For Mark Lee in the 20-metre area, on to Stasica. Saints forced to defend. Mark Lee for Salford, 15 yards short. Reverse pass to Gibson. He'll have to be wrapped up. Saints will have to make sure it's man and ball. Well, Mark Lee from acting half, played it quickly. Back to Gibson. He's burrowing for the line, backs into it. Can Saints hold him up over the line? He's held short. Now with Salford again, moving it crossfield. Arthur Bradshaw took it well, but Cooper wraps him up. And Cooper and Joint force him back. Salford there, spreading it out to Gibson. Bradshaw squaws it out. Well, it's on to Coleman now, and Salford certainly spreading it about. Exciting rugby, they're trailing by 6 points. They're looking to level the scores up. Last tackle of this sequence. The Saints defence has held firm. Quick tackling, it's Coleman. Well, out to Blease, he's lost possession. Saints have it. It's Bernard Dwyer quickly down on it. But it's going to be the turnover ruled, even though Saints do have possession. Ian Blease coming through on it. Well, Saints nearly caught off guard. There's now with George Mann looking for support, and there's Griffiths driving it up the centre. Saints nearly caught off guard as referee Kershaw brought the ball back to the 10-metre line. But Arthur Bradshaw and Jed Stasica there both combining. And I think it was Arthur Bradshaw that was penalised for allegedly holding down at the play of the ball. And David Lyon had a solid 40 minutes. Well, 49 minutes now. Solid play and a good run. kicked 2 goals and had a good run when he fielded the ball in his own 20-metre area, drove it up into the Salford half. Cooper onto John Neal, took it well. High tackling again, indicated by referee Kershaw, with John Neal coming through, and there certainly didn't look a lot in it yet again from our angle, but the referee's right in on the job. So David Lyon will kick over to near the tunnel where the players come out from the dressing rooms at the back of that far stand. Gains a valuable 20 metres. Now with Cooper, on to John Neal again. Centre field, just outside the 20-metre area, the Salford 20-metre area that is. Now it's Cooper, short ball to Harrison. He drives it forward as John Harrison. Bernard Dwyer's there, and the Saints putting a move together. Cooper moving it over left, now with George Mann. Shrugs the tackle off as George Mann, but Saints keep it going. Now with Chris Joint, back to Dwyer, on to Tira Patty. Good ball out to Alan Hunt. Can he take it? He can't. Well, he's got Hunters going in touch. He may have stepped in touch, but he didn't have the ball in his hands, surely. The touch judge there, I'm sure he got it wrong. But a let off for Salford. But it's a scrum with a Salford feed. No way he was in touch there, Alan Hunt, but the touch judge getting it wrong. And Salford winning their first scrum. Second clean scrum will make it of this second half. One apiece. 11.5 minutes have elapsed since the half-time interval, and the score is 8 points to 2 in the Saints' favour. Now with Coleman. Well, a loose ball there, but tidied up by Stasica, and he makes good yardage as Stasica. Support there from Gibson, but the ball hacked on. David Lyon can't take it. It's waved on, and Salford are in the charge. Jason Critchley on the far side. Support from Evans. Cooper wraps him up. Lyon goes in as well. So catalogue of errors, but it's Salford that's had the best out of it. Gilfillan out to quick ball to Ian Blease. Back now to Andy Burgess. Burgess linked a couple of times in that move. Blease at dummy half, on to Reid. He takes it to Coleman. Tries to side through the Saints defence. John Harrison wraps him up. Mark Lee brings it away now with David Young. Reid and Stasica, and all that movement coming from Stasica, but superb tackle on Critchley by McCracken. Now he'll know about that, won't he? But Salford elected to take it over to the right, and Burgess tried to chip it through for Tex Evans, but it went into touch. I thought it had gone in on the full, but it must have touched the Saints player. It looks as though he's given a scrum down with a Salford feed. It has touched the Saints player. I'm just saying that Burgess had kicked it in on the full, but Salford have possession. Spread it quickly out, loop movement there. Reid doing a pirouette. Finally brought down. 12 yards from the Saints line and virtually centre field. Coleman, inside ball, Gilfillan. Looking to release it there and bags the time. He does get it away to Mark Lee. On to Gibson. Saints forced to defend there, and the Salford spectators will get behind their team. Now with Coleman, short ball to Burgess. Well, excellent cover defence by the Saints there. Alan Hunt wrapping his man up. Now with Reid. Trying to break the Saints defence, trying to pass round the man. Coleman at dummy half. Brings it blindside again. Mark Lee chips it through. Alan Hunt grounds it. Takes the pressure off, but Salford trying to vary the play, but they've been unable to penetrate the Saints line after 54 minutes of play. But Alan Hunt did well there. We all know what Mark Lee, with his astute grubber kicking. A lot of the Saints, a lot of the Salford play, I beg your pardon, coming on this left side. Blindside ploy onto this Phil Ford, John Gilfillan wing. But Salford making another substitution now. Number 11, Arthur Bradshaw, coming off. And Rob Ackerman coming on. Salford have possession from the dropout from between the sticks, with some disgruntled Salford fans to the rear of us. But Saints are in the lead, 8 points to 2. Looking good value for the lead at present. Defence has held firm, and it's got to hold firm for the remainder of this game. Another 25 minutes. Ian Blease. Coleman was there. Blease tried to squeeze it out. He couldn't do so. Solid tackling again. Harrison and Dwyer. Salford dragging the Saints defence in, but superb tackle by Rapati. Last tackle of this set there. That was Ackerman coming on, his first touch. It's chipped through by Salford. It's going to run dead. It's too deep that time. The little chip kick through. I think it was Wayne Reid that tried to chip it through for Tex Evans. Saints doing the double over Salford last season. Here at the Willows, winning 15 points to 6. We're at Knowsley Road. Saints won by 25 points to 16. We've played Salford already twice this season. Once in the league, winning handsomely, 48 points to 8. And then only a couple of weeks later, we played Salford in the Lancashire Cup semi-final at Knowsley Road. Saints just coming through, 18 points to 5 victors on that evening. In the lead tonight by 8 points to 2. Saints looking a little lacking there, just centre field. But the ball now to David Lyon. Punts it downfield. Gibson forced to chase it. It bounces favourably for him. He gathers it, and Griffiths comes up, but Connolly and Hunt wrap the man up. Now it's Phil Ford taking it crossfield, but it's quickly closed down, and you've got to get it in quickly on this man Ford. It's Shane Cooper that was leading the charge there, and Cooper's in again. Saints captain leads by example. He's got to get in there and lead his side. The side has got to be lifted after, especially after Wednesday's loss. But there's a case again where the man, he seemed to be tackled. He was on the ground. He got up and went away. And as we know at Knowsley Road last Sunday, Sonny Nicol had 10 minutes in the sin bin for just making sure that the man didn't get up and do that. A touch to Saints player again in flight, but it's on to Tony Sullivan. Limited touches for Tony Sullivan this afternoon. Not a lot of play going his way, but Saints now have possession in the Salford half. John Harrison gets it away. Sullivan did well to take it. It looks as though he was losing it. If Salford had been in a little bit quicker on him, he may have lost possession in the tackle. But it's now with Rapati. Looking for that gap, puts George Mann in a big hole. Now with Connolly, out to Alan Hunt. Outside of Gibson. Hunt puts it back to Connolly, but it looked as though it was knocked forward. Good play from Alan Hunt. Tried to take Gibson on the outside, just give him a little bit of room I should say. Went inside, then took him on the outside, flicked the ball up, but Connolly couldn't take it, he knocked it forward. The referee was right on the job. It's a scrum down with the Salford feed. Just over 18 minutes of the second half gone. 8 points to 2 still the score. 8-0 at half time. And just that David Young penalty goal for Salford in the 4th minute of the second half. The alteration to the score. Gilfillan on to Phil Ford. He comes in and Cooper closes him down again. Cooper and Connolly. Steve Gibson just in the way a little bit there. Closed Ford's movement down. But Jared McCracken completes the tackle. I think it was Jason Critchley moving through there on a diagonal run. Salford kicked the ball, excellent. Grubber, touch finder, right on the Saints 20-metre line. Nothing David Lyon could do about cutting that off. 10 metres in from the touchline, scrum down. John Griffiths to feed it. Salford taking the scrums 3-1 in this second period. Now with Griffiths bringing it away. Gibson brings him down. Cooper now with George Mann. Looking to turn in the tackle, but well clamped round the top. Jason Critchley. I think Critchley seems to have gone into the second row with Ackerman in the centres. And now it's Tirapati. Gets the ball back to Cooper. Looking for that half gap. Cooper nearly broke through. Just brought down Andy Burgess, but now it's Bernard Dwyer from acting half. Up to the virtually the centre spot. Last tackle of this sequence. The ball back to David Lyon. Phil Ford will gather it safely. And he'll have to be met first time. Connolly is the first man in. Now with Coleman, he's moving it across. Salford trying to get the side going halfway through this second half. So 20 minutes gone, 20 minutes to go, 8 points to 2, Saints in the lead. Just one converted score separating the sides, so Saints looking for more points, obviously to hopefully seal the victory. Last tackle of this sequence, now with Coleman. Bounces it up the centre, but Lyon gets a favourable bounce. He moves it over to the left, then straightens up. Into space is David Lyon. Sidesteps again, well, he's lost the ball. Saints come up with it, but Tony Sullivan come up with it. But Lyon losing the ball, he'd sidestepped through, he'd done all the hard work there, and then the ferocity of the tackle, shaking the ball from his grasp as he was moving over there to the left. Salford with scrum possession. Jason Critchley, powerful lad. Connolly takes him down. Connolly and Critchley, good pals from the Blackbrook Club at St Helens. Would have been all love lost out there. Rob Ackerman tied up by Shane Cooper. Tries from offside for the back of us. Well, that's how Salford have been playing all the game, moving up quickly. Jed Stasiker, he's brought down a combination of George Mann and John Neal. Blindside again, Coleman out to Gilfillan. Turns in the tackle, looking for Phil Ford, but he was well clamped there. Last one of the sequence. Reid tried to get it round the man. Salford's well. We'll say Salford still have possession. It's a knock on. So it's the turnover. Ian Blease knocking the ball on. And as you can hear from the homesters, the discontent here of the Salford spectators with their captain. This is the only trouble with a lot of the spectators. We're not immune either. You just make one mistake and the public are, or certain sections of the public are on your back, whereas you've got to get behind your team and hopefully gee them up. But this is just something you've got to live with, isn't it? Chatting to a couple of our so-called spectators before I came round to the gantry, and there was on about our props of John Harrison. Well, there's Tira Patty into a big hole, looking for space. Cooper coming across, yes. Cooper there to the left of the sticks. Excellent play by the Saints again. They scored in the 23rd minute of the first half with Rapati, and now they've scored in the 23rd minute of the second half, courtesy of Shane Cooper. But a lot of the spade work done there by Tia Rapati. Brought the ball up, excellent ball to Rapati. Led the Salford defence of Merry Dance, drove it up. Shane Cooper was there, backing up as ever. He's had an excellent game this afternoon as the Saints captain, Shane Cooper. Tried to get his side going, led by example. Been all round the pitch, as he always is, prodding and probing. And Saints extend the lead there, and I think that will ensure the 2 league points for this afternoon. So Arthur Bradshaw, I think he looks like he's coming back on. Shane Cooper getting the support of the Saints travelling public. And it's David Lyon, but more or less in front of the sticks, shouldn't have any problem. Should tag his third on of the afternoon. There's David Lyon out, looking to extend the Saints, 12 points to 2 at present. Looking for the extra 2 to make it a 12-point cushion. Yes, Lyon there, converts it no problem. 14 points to 2. the Saints lead with 15 minutes of the game to go. Ian Blease is substituted, much to the pleasure of the spectators just to the rear of me. Arthur Bradshaw back on for Ian Blease. Saints with a 12-point cushion. As I was saying just before we scored that try, a couple of the spectators, or so-called spectators from the Saints, they said, they asked me who the props were, as I told them that obviously we had Harrison and Neil, and they said that Blease had cut them to ribbons this afternoon. It hasn't been the case, but these are a couple of spectators that if you just lose an odd game, they're always saying that the Saints are going to be second division material. But the Saints answering them back in good style. And it's George Mann there, pushing the tacklers off. Can't release it. Wayne Reid has him clamped. But Saints in a much more comfortable position now as Bernard Dwyer brings it blindside. Much more comfortable position at 14 points to 2. Always a difficult tie here at the Willows. Well, that's a knock on that. As Gibson, he was facing his own post, but he brought it back towards our position, towards the halfway line. And we've seen that given before. But it's not given now. Salford taking it stood still. And Gibson, the man in possession. Now with Coleman. Lofted ball there to Gilfillan, onto Critchley. Superbly tackled by Alan Hunt. Man and ball in with the shoulder. Took him bouncing to the ground. Stazika gets it away. Well, a little altercation centre field between Stazika and Bernard Dwyer. Referee Kershaw quickly on it as Salford were spreading the ball. It's quite a clean game up to now. Plenty of hard, strong tackling, but that's the first little bit of action we've had, or disagreement, or whatever you want to call it. But Dwyer and Stazika. Bernard Dwyer, one of the most mildly mannered forwards in the Saints ranks. And Bernard Dwyer is looking to be replaced. Gus O'Donnell is out there and the number 9 boards up. But the scrum has been, well, it's gone against the feed. The scrum has been awarded with the Saints feed. It went against the feed. Phil Ford, I think that is just, oh, I beg your pardon, it's not Phil Ford's over here. It was John Gilfillan. Salford in possession. Saints looking to make a substitute. Now with Arthur Bradshaw. He's brought down 30 metres. 30 metres plus. Saints penalised. John Harrison penalised for allegedly holding the man down. And Mark Lee finds touch. 30 metres from the Saints line. Mark Lee again, onto Stazika. John Neal round the top. Bernard Dwyer round the legs. Salford in possession. David Young bringing it centre field. Excellent run from this fella. Drove well. Joint and Harrison. They combined to tackle him. Now it's Reid. Bounces off George Mann, but Bernard Dwyer's in there again. They're hoping to replace Dwyer, but Phil Ford now. Looking to thread his way through. Gary Connolly. And Bernard Dwyer again. Well, Dwyer gets through some tackling in a game, doesn't he? Reid losing his footing. Cooper and Griffiths bounce him down. It's the last tackle of this sequence. Let's see what Salford have up the sleeve. Mark Lee chips it centre. Well, that looks like a try. Got a rebound off a Saints player, and I think it's Andy Burgess that comes up with it. The number 13. But it's a try for Salford, fortuitous as it may be, but it's there. I think it was Andy Burgess that come up with it. 29 minutes gone. Salford back in with a sniff at 14-6, and it's going to be 14 points to 8 because Young will pop this one over. On the last tackle, Saints defending. The first time the line has been breached. It was chipped through, an astute kick from Mark Lee, and it bounced off a Saints player, bounced back, and the Salford player there just touched down by the sticks. 14 points to 8, back to square one. 10 minutes of the game remaining, 6 points separating the sides. And Saints just caught there, even though, as I said, it was a little bit fortunate, but they all count, don't they? It's all in the game. Good kicking from Mark Lee, and good following up by Salford. They put a lot of pressure on the Saints line. The Saints have held it firmly until then. 14-8 the score. And that will put a little, I should say a little bit more into the Salford side. We're getting the try. But they have competed well this afternoon. Mark Lee attacked in half. Well, loose ball. Andy Burgess tidies it up. I think Burgess was the try scorer. Who's now with Arthur Bradshaw bringing it away. Saints pressing up. Now with Gibson into a big hole. Gibson just losing his footing. He releases the ball. It's out to Tex Evans. McCracken has him, and McCracken doesn't let go. But good play from Salford. Broke quickly out of their own half. It's the last tackle of this set. Coleman along the line. Reid, Gilfillan onto Burgess. Inside to Phil Ford. Ford chips it. It's going to run dead, yes. Ford, excellent work there. Chipped it, it was on the sixth tackle. And Saints will start with a tap from the centre of the 20-metre line. Salford sweep upfield, a full 75 yards. Gus O'Donnell there on for Bernard Dwyer. And now Wayne Reid being substituted. Burkitt back on. Cooper to John Harrison. Gus O'Donnell attacked in half, onto Chris Joint. Just over 7 minutes of the game remaining, with Saints in the lead by 14 points to 8. Last tackle of this set. Rapati gives it back to Lyon. Kicks it over slightly to the left. Gibson gathers it. Looked a little iffy as he brought it up. Just a good run. Gibson gets it away to Coleman. Out to Phil Ford. You know, Ford is the, or can be the killer weapon. Burkitt attacked in half. And now that's Rob Ackerman. He's brought down Gus O'Donnell and John Harrison. Coleman centre field. Salford coming with a late charge. McCracken temporarily stopping the man. But Chris Joint wrapped him up. Now it's Coleman up the centre. Good break. Good support by Salford. Mark Lee it was, but there was nobody on his left, but he gets it away. Salford spreading it. Saints will have to defend here. Jason Critchley coming through to the corner. He gives it to Ford, and Ford's in. Superb try by Salford. 6 minutes before the end of this game. Salford coming with a late burst. 2 tries within the space of 5 minutes. But that ball, it looked all dead and buried in the on the far right. But it was squeezed out, and then Jason Critchley coming through at pace. Lovely angular run from this fella. He had Phil Ford on his outside. He probably could have scored himself, but he just slipped it to Phil Ford, and he went in this bottom left-hand corner. That puts the fat back in the frying pan, doesn't it? 14 points to 12. with this David Young conversion to come. As you can see, he's just over 30 metres out, and he's only about 6 to 8 feet in from the touchline. A difficult attempt for this fella, but he's kicked well. Let's see if he can level the scores up. Well, it looks all the way. Will it be short? Just falls short. So what a pulsating last 5 minutes we're going to have here at the Willows. Salford not in the game till the 29th minute of this second half, when Burgess went in for a rather fortunate try. It gave Salford that little bit of boost that they'd needed, even though they had played well, they drove well, but they needed that little bit of a boost there. Burgess got the try, Young converted it, was right in front of the sticks. It brought them back within 6 points at 14-8, and then superb handling. They have handled well all afternoon, but a good run, a good angular run there by Jason Critchley, and Phil Ford finished off in good style in the corner. It went unconverted, 2 points separating the sides, and now we're in for a grandstand finish, can we say. Mark Lee bringing the ball away, good ball there onto Evans. Evans breaks through the first line of defence, he gets the ball away. It looks as though it had been knocked forward. Obviously tried to keep it going. Stazzy comes up there in support, but Evans again on the far side, fed a lovely ball. Mark Lee burst through, excellent player in the Lucy's Lee. The referee and the touch judge just having a little discussion on the far side. So Salford have been penalised after the referee had consulted with the touch judge. Must have been either Tex Evans. I know Craig Coleman was over there on the far side, but the Saints have been awarded a penalty. Just a bit out of our focus here. But Gus O'Donnell, well, as Salford encroach, yes, the referee is quite correct there. Saints were penalised for it in the first half, and Salford have now been penalised in this second half, in the dying minutes, just when they want to get things underway and try to put the Saints under a bit of pressure. Referee Kershaw is holding them back, and they've been penalised twice in quick succession. And Gus O'Donnell a restart 10 metres into the Salford half. A slender 2-point lead is the Saints' advantage. And we're talking about just over 2 minutes of the half remaining. At least the Saints are in the Salford half at the right end of the ground, but we know how quickly Salford can break. It's George Mann. George Mann will stick hold of it. Quick play the ball there, Cooper onto Chris Joint. Still going his Joint, he's brought down about 8 yards short. Cooper along the line, Griffiths, Saints will have to spread it. George Mann, he straightens it up, takes it down the centre. Last tackle of this sequence. Will we see a drop goal being lined up? Cooper there, gets it away. Cooper gets the 1-pointer. His first drop goal of the season, a timely one there. Salford kick it off quickly. Jared McCracken brings the ball up. 15 points to 12 the score. And McCracken powering down centre field. Over the halfway line. Phil Ford still injured, but McCracken, excellent run from this fella. 35, 40 yards he drove forward. Now it's Griffiths. Griffiths into space. Can he take Gibson on? He can. He's brought down in the 20-metre area. Saints want to quick play the ball. Rapati takes it blindside, gives it to Cooper. Cooper gives the dummy. Has to take the tackle. 30 seconds of normal time on my watch, plus any added time. And Saints in a good position by virtue of the leading by 3 points, and they're all but on the Salford line. Rapati Out to O'Donnell. Well, O'Donnell going for the drop goal right in front of the sticks. Losing his footing. 40 minutes on my watch, and a try from Salford will seal the victory this afternoon. The Saints tackling and have to hold firm. 15-12 the score. Salford have possession. Burkitt on to Coleman. Lofted ball there. On to Tex Evans. Looking for support. Support's there, but the Salford man losing his footing. Just inside the Saints half. Coleman. Lofted ball. Looking for this forward wing again. Now it's Mark Lee. Well, Burkitt tried to get it away. Mark Lee throws it back. Looking for Phil Ford, but he wasn't there. But Salford keeps spreading it. David Young drops on the loose ball. Saints urge to get back onside. But now it's Coleman up the centre. Gus O'Donnell closes him down. Salford have possession. Just over a minute of stoppage time. Last tackle of this sequence. Out to Evans. Evans is going to be brought down. Well, he's lost possession. But there's the full-time hooter. After a late rally by Salford, Saints weathering the storm. 8 points to 0, Saints were in the lead at half-time. Then Young hit back with a 4th-minute penalty goal. That brought the scores to 8 points to 2. Still for the Saints. Then the 23rd minute Cooper try after some good work by Rapati. That was goal by Lyon, and it looked all plain sailing at 14 points to 2. But 11 minutes before the full time, Burgess going over for a try. Young converted it, and then 5 minutes later, Phil Ford going in at this left-hand corner here. Young couldn't convert that try. 14-12 was the score, and we was in for the last 6 minutes of exciting rugby. Saints weathered the Salford storm and got down to the other end. Cooper dropped goal 2 minutes before the interval, and that sealed the win for the Saints this afternoon. 15 points to 12 the score. Next Sunday we're at Oddsall Bradford, hoping to avenge the league defeat that they gave the Saints just a fortnight ago, I think it was. So join us next week at Oddsall Bradford. Thanks for joining us again. You've been with your Saints video team, and we'll see you next Sunday at Oddsall.